There's sirens that are going. There's ones I'd like to find out more information.
Yeah.
There was one just before it came down on Hillcrest coming at. Rain had stopped, I think it was down on.
Okay, before Jesus is here, let's go ahead and do camp plans.
Yeah.
We're good, where were we going? Rick, where were they going?
Ricky Hill.
Whoa,
Remind me where 30?
I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the two that we have are.
You have copies of the narrative though.
I handed that out.
Okay, so I have
Yeah,
it.
I
You're right.
can, I mean, I can make another copy.
No, I put it.
No. So we can work it out for that. Okay.
Well,
But I still need Amy's page.
yeah, we're still waiting on Amy.
I'm
Yeah, I
thinking it's in 30, so.
Page 35.
Okay, I got it.
Very good.
or in the big document.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I got that.
Too.
Okay, I live with a 9-year-old and I put nonsense all the time. Okay, so there's.
I deserve this, that's okay.
Documents, yeah, it's a lot.
So what was the single one you asked?
This one,
Yeah,
this is the email
That's
that had
that
the
one.
narrative on it.
yeah, you handed those out last time, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't have it. You want a copy?
Did you fill that in half twos?
We're all camp closet proposal, Greg would.
There you
Good. All right. Shoot from the hip.
go. Alright.
So in bullet 4. On the proposal. That we would use the same criteria for eligibility that we had. This last year. Camp Lasso would operate for 6 weeks instead of 7. The important thing to know there is that in the 7th week this year, I think we only had 35 kids. So-
And all counselors, we lost like 10 counselors because of school.
So that getting later is hard to manage and operate.
Can I go back up? Sorry. Eligibility?
Yep.
Are we doing Lake Placid School District?
Yep, same as this year.
Well,
But-
Park District.
Just Park District.
Park District.
So we're into Wilmington. So not to include Wilmington kids?
Well, I said same eligibility as this, year, which included the Wilmington kids. If they paid a fee.
Yes.
But we didn't know who they were, and I think there were only 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was minimal.
And it was minimal because probably because their parent, like they met some other eligibility criteria, we would
Oh,
assume,
okay.
but like their parents were doing class.
Gotcha.
But I have talked to Favor, I think 2 times since then. And Favor was very appreciative of us offering that, even if it was only 1 or 2 students who took advantage of it.
Yep.
And he was going during, they're working through their budget session. And he had we're being recorded, so I'm gonna think this through a second. He was gonna propose to them a budget to run their own. camp,
Okay.
And then propose to them that they pay in structure into their budget I think he was gonna propose a $3,000 to $5,000 lump sum payment to be paid to North Elba. In lieu, like, these are your 2 options.
Right. so
A
compared to-
$60,000, $70,000, $100,000 program. Or $3,000 to $5,000 to North Elba. But what I don't know, I have to put my thinking cap on, is like, do we take that? And then we still charge $100, we're just taking that to accommodate the fact that they might not be paying park district taxes?
Well, right, so that was, hadn't thought through that angle of it.
Yeah.
Frankly, because we were thinking that all campers would pay $100, not thinking that they were already paying something.
Oh my gosh.
So I would.
We are not, that's a number.
So presumably if it were $500, it would now be. $500 from the town, but the family would still be $100.
Yeah, I'm thinking nothing changes, right? If
Yeah.
you thought that through, nothing would change, cause it's still, those students are still. They're still not paying their families are not paying park district
Park
taxes,
district.
so they should still, the town of Wilmington Park District. Their whatever should still be paying something, plus the $100 for program.
Cause that's their commitment.
Right.
But so I would, before we release the eligibility to say Lake Placid School District, I would just want some commitment from the town of Wilmington saying that they're going to pay something. That it's just one person saying that.
No, I agree.
And I do think it's in our best interest and to include the Lake Placid School District, like I would like to do that, but I do think it's reasonable to ask the town of Wilmington for
Well, just how Lake Placid School District outside of the town of North Elba
part district.
equals X amount of
Yes,
additional
right,
funding.
yes.
I know I popped in a little bit later, so. The sort of the dates will be stated so that very clearly enrollment in whatever application, so that. It relates to the game in Lake Placid, but if someone from Wilmington is getting in there, like, we're just aware of all of that.
Yeah, so,
It's just open, right?
right, well, so this is part of all of this here, because the intent is to charge so that we can increase our pay rate to the counselors so that we hopefully get more counselors and then could have more students. But I think, yeah, but we would.
Better staff.
Right, better staff that way, and the point being that. We can only take as many as we can take by week based on the counselors we have. And so one of the things that we heard from Tim in conversations with him is that. We are likely to be able to get a teacher here or there, just not for a full commitment of 6 weeks. We might get somebody for a week or 2 weeks or this week, front week, but maybe the last week, but they're doing family things in between. So we would vary our enrollment based on the number of counselors that we had for those weeks.
We're really gonna look at it by week.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to work 2 weeks as a counselor. I mean,
So then,
instead of asking for a full 6 week or 7 week commitment, it's easier to like, maybe a teacher can just do a week or 2
so
weeks.
payment for the summer camp is by the week.
By the
By the
week.
week. Yeah.
I agree 100%
So somebody
with
could
that.
come in and say. That way we eliminate or try to eliminate the. Folks that had signed up for the full summer, but
And then
then,
no-showed.
and then no showed for weeks at a time.
And they have to indicate ahead of time.
There's still
Which
gonna be
weeks
cutoff.
and which weeks.
Well, they won't have to because they're only gonna pay for the week.
Right, and that's okay, they're gonna pay ahead of time
Yes,
for those weeks, it's not like,
Correct.
okay, I want my kid to come an extra week, so I'm gonna pay an extra.
No.
Correct.
there's still
And
gonna be a limit.
and I
on-
would say is that. We could do that if there's still openings in that particular week, so
Okay.
if. You know, if we were, if we had 13 counselors and we could have 130 kids, I'm just saying, and we only had 128 kids. Signed up, and then somebody else later on said, oh, can I get in on it? Sure. You
Yeah.
can.
Okay,
And I know that this isn't the forum to talk about the logistics of that, so maybe I just kind of, we'll revisit at another time, where kind of like. Not to delay this particular conversation, but how that process would look. So like the weekly component of it, we could, it's all summer or just a week or whatever.
Yeah. And I think the challenge will be, and this is part of the reason. That we want them to pay upfront is because we also, to register upfront and pay upfront is because. We have to still do all the paperwork and we have to get the medical forms and they still have to be checked, and if they're missing something, so
Yeah,
there's
there's
still a
has to be a
process.
deadline.
Yeah, I mean, so it can't be that somebody just says, oh, I see you have an opening next week and it's Friday, oh, I'm gonna come on Monday, and that they hadn't been there at any other point.
okay.
There's no way that we could.
Plus the ratio of counselors to kids.
Well, right, what I'm saying
It
is.
would be an
if-
opening.
They
if
still
we
have to
had
be
an
in the
opening.
system.
Yeah.
Right, they still have to be in the system for last minute.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of
acceptance.
logistics and it just, it's more of the, which is probably.
There's a
not
lot
conversation.
of logistics.
Yeah.
So
So,
I was just saying, throwing it out, and I'm fine with it, but what does everybody think about the $100 figure?
that's what that was my next
That's a
bullet.
big issue.
So charge for campers would be $100 per week, and. If we assume 120 campers, just as a round number. And 65% of families were paying, so 35% were on scholarship of some kind. That would generate $46,800 in revenue, and I don't like using really the word revenue because the intent is that it's budget relief. Because it's actually helping to pay the salaries of the counselors, medical, all of that.
The numbers don't bother me, I'm more interested in. Who is gonna be. Figuring out who gets subsidy and who doesn't.
I don't think we personally should be looking and have people submit some type of
No.
financial declaration. I think if somebody says,
I need help.
I need help, I can't pay, then
They get it.
they get it.
There was a process for that.
Yeah, and I think it just said, I think where we actually say like, this is what the payment information is, it says, check this box or call our office. If you need financial assistance.
Are you gonna do that first come, first served then?
You guys must have had a good idea to come up with 35%.
I don't even think we'll hit it.
Yeah, I don't
The
even,
majority won't ask.
yeah, I think the majority, I agree with Adrian, I think the
When-
majority won't ask.
When we had spoken with Keith Clark, when Keith was director of
Yeah.
community schools, one thing that he had suggested was that they could actually target families on the other, like on be like.
School end.
Yeah, on the school end and be like, say, to reach out to families that they knew could actually use financial assistance and say like, hey, you were selected for financial assistance if we wanted to go in that direction. And so like
Sure.
when like applications were coming out, like, so now it would be Brennan Gotham could go to those families and say, hey, like, I wanna let you know that the town of North Elba selected your family for a scholarship for Camp Placid.
Sure, and I think we're leveraging the services these schools.
Worry a little bit about just the language of that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the exact
Yeah,
language,
right, yeah.
When you do your application,
Just highlighting
check
the
the box.
process.
Yeah, make sure you check the box, because
I
they're open to
I'm just saying that they were willing to be a partner to help identify
Sure.
families to say like,
Understood.
these particular people could use it.
Considering
understood.
daycare is 2.5 times
Yes,
$100.
yes.
And we came up with that number,
$20.
trying to be fair about it. The after school program that Lake Placid has, it's just a few hours a day or a week actually. Is $75. And it's not even a full day, so we really thought $100 was pretty
I think
At least a day.
I
fair.
think $100 is fair in regards, and this is this first year of transitioning into the
Yeah.
model and trying to like, I guess, elevate the sort of the quality of the two and have those, and I think that's what reasonable, and then next fall, we can have the same conversation and kind of go from there.
I mean, the only reason why I wanted to charge, cause I did not want to go down that road was. To have people commit for the time that they signed up for.
I've been, I've been very reticent
Yeah.
and an advocate to like make it continue to be free, but even I can see how now that like this is
Lot
an
of-
unavoidable sort of situation. And there are opportunities that we leverage the sort of the policy or the personnel at school to help those families that need it. We can still be inclusive.
Yes, I think that, but I also think it's important, and I think this is important within just the messaging to it as we're just talking about it, is that the money itself is budget relief so that we can actually try to service more kids.
Oh,
on this. I
100%.
mean, that's the purpose of this.
I wouldn't support a sort of a fee that would subsidize the rest of the budget.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get 16 counselors, we can have more kids. If we get 17 counselors, we can have more kids.
So with that in mind, we're basically all agreeing to this. Realizing that Camp Placid now, as we look at the budget. Is at 0. You're not adding to the cost of it. I mean, for me, I'm past the new plan now, I'm accepting it,
Yeah,
but we also know we're $1.5 million behind.
But if we cut out the paving and I'm just saying generally like $200,000 to general fund. We're about, $800,000.
And I've already put that revenue in this budget,
Okay,
so
it's hidden,
Well, revenue,
that's my
46.
point.
Okay, so our net's around 77,000 for this program is what it's cost the town.
yeah, I mean, it was,
What
what
it
was the
cost the
total
town
was
this
like
year?
9,
111.
Yeah,
was it 111?
so it's costing less.
And it's gonna be a better program.
Well,
It's not that it's bad.
what I was doing was comparing it to 2003, 2000 or 2023, 2024. It was around 80, so that's where I'd like to see it. So
So we're
that
coming underneath.
with the revenue comes underneath
Yeah.
that, so.
So, I mean, I did, it within the budget itself had asked for increases in things that we. With more counselors comes more, or excuse me, with more campers comes more supplies, also more counselors means that's more T-shirts and, you know.
Yeah,
So some of those numbers went up. But or is also gonna be offset by. what
and
we're
I did
charging.
ask for money in there to to have the Blooms app. To communicate with parents.
Oh, that'd be, yes, that service is, like, a communication service is absolutely necessary. With the way,
That's only $1,500 for the year opposed to, what's the other one?
So I don't,
Another one.
Fair Square,
Yeah, that's 3,000, so
Yeah.
Blues is $1,500.
so Rick, I don't know
Well
if
worth
then
it.
we would still meet that threshold then.
Well, I'd
So
like
it's
to
gonna
add
come
this that
down,
might
it's not-
help solve that.
I took it based on
Oh,
your
you put that.
request.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
all in there.
So,
Okay, if I didn't realize that she had put in as revenue, I didn't see that.
Amy, years ago, when it came to Horse Show, we used to have a line item that was okay with municipal law to accept donations for Horse Show. So I'm assuming there's still something in municipal law where we could have a line item for youth camp. So if someone wanted to sponsor
Yeah.
the trip to the Wild Center, that could ease this program tremendously, and I think there are avenues with a little bit of marketing to bring that in.
Well, I think somebody like Michelin or somebody like that would be willing to get like the little backpacks for the kids and things like that, you know, with
Yes, it
those
did,
little
it
slings
did not
back,
get
you know, where they put water bottles in and stuff like
Added.
that and.
okay.
correct.
Something
So
like
if in
that
this
could
new
be-
budget, we could have a line item
46.5.
that could help
Do
the
a
program.
sponsorship program.
Yes.
Alicia had, you know, I would have
I
to
don't know why it was.
confirm if she wanted to do it again this summer, but
That's why I moved it.
she does have those connections of people
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
wanted to do that.
Do something.
Okay.
So there would be, so again, based on conversations with Tim, I'm being able to get a few teachers to sign up for some weeks. He felt that range for them hourly needed to be 30 to 35. And so if we did that, then I also feel then we need to be able to bump up.
Bump the director.
Bump the director to 35 to cover that increase. For head counselors, which would be the teachers, $30 an hour, so it might be, end up being 31 with a negotiation or something, but anticipating 30. And then counselors would again is on a sliding scale from 18 to 23, depending on years of service and experience and all of that. The one new here is an administrative assistant. And that person is with the camp, but it's the person that answers the phone. I think Adrian, you were saying that
Oh,
Alicia was
absolutely bombarded.
yeah,
getting 30 to 50 calls a day from parents.
I wanna be,
Um,
it's late,
I mean,
it's early,
really,
blah, blah, blah.
I need to pick up it and just can't operationally do the things she does to make sure the camp goes well, but be constantly answering the phone every
I know this is operational, but what else would that person be doing?
maybe updating social media and websites. I know there was some confusion. There was like, check the website, but like. The little chart that they had to pick up may have not matched the website very,
There are some other locations that I didn't see that other people saw that got missed getting updated, yeah.
so I think having that, like, being charged with that communication channel.
And through the Blooms app too,
Yes.
like just to make it
And we,
smoother.
and setting up, beginning of the week, letting them know where they're going and what's going on.
And because they're embedded with the camp, if there is a day where we had a counselor or two call in sick, I mean, that is another person that's. With the camp that's aware of the operation and stuff like that, that helps.
So they are also clear to be a counselor.
That's what I'm proposing.
Now, the uncomfortable part of this summer camp for me is trying to figure out the wicked excessive overtime because they work through lunch hour. Yeah, I don't know the answers, but there's gotta be other kids camps that have this challenge.
So I think there's a couple of things, Adrian and I have gone through and discussed. 2 or 3 different options for different points of the day that I think will actually alleviate that, so. Will help to alleviate that. One is certainly the pick up. At the end of the day, all the counselors don't need to be there, so. Because as the kids disperse, the numbers dropping quickly, so the ratio changes, so from a staffing perspective, you wouldn't need to be full the entire time for that hour.
Okay,
So that would save.
I mean,
1
you were
hour
looking
for
at
the staff. You
$1,000
need a
to
couple.
$1,300 a week in
Yeah, we're
overtime.
gonna have staff alternate and do like the morning shift where we'll be there for drop off, but then leave early before pickup. And then vice versa,
That can
to
alleviate.
And then-
alleviate it.
And
And then
then,
you're under the required numbers of hours of work for like breaks and lunches and stuff, is that what we're?
We're gonna, yeah, we're, it's gonna be a,
Or is it?
and then for also at the lunchtime, coming up with a rotation at lunch so that half on, half off. By day, would
Yeah.
then also drop their total number of hours in a
Good.
week. And so I think on average, the counselors themselves were. Usually less than 10. I think the counselor, the big one is the camp director.
yeah,
Yeah,
Because she's in at 6 AM getting ready for the 7 AM. When the rest of the counselors come in, so she's making sure that they've got the plan for the day and what's happening. And then she's always the last person to leave.
okay.
and there's always parents that
So
are
that
late.
one
and
is,
she can't
that
leave
one's
until
been
all the
tough
kids are picked up.
because. She's in charge of the program, so she's always gonna be first in, first out,
We charge for
or
that
last out.
late.
You're going to be
I think maybe
charging
she should
them.
have some time during the day to be able to handle some administrative tasks. Like the.
Right, but it doesn't-
$100 a minute.
Yeah, but it doesn't take
They'll
away
all be
from her
used to that.
being there earlier, being the last person there.
So
It's
it's-
still total hours.
Can we have a conversation outside of this budget meeting on logistics?
That's what I was kind of hinting at,
Yeah.
at the beginning, it seems kind of deep.
Because I've got a lot of questions, but I don't want to drag.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean,
Conversation.
because it's gonna affect what I put on the website, there's gonna be an edit to all the parent communication. All the handbook stuff needs to be tweaked. So we can have everything a lot smoother next time.
But the general agreement is the overall concept of it. Yeah.
And there's gotta be a way to work out that they are not getting overtime.
But that's I've got a lot of
Yeah, I
questions
mean,
with that.
what it comes down to is staffing levels. To be able to alternate shifts for that.
Yeah, but if the issue is working more than 8 hours a day, then we're gonna have to adjust the hours of the camp. I mean. We
But
have
if
to
you're paying for lunches, I didn't want to go here, but I'm going to.
We are,
Why are we paying for lunches? You have to pay for breaks, a 15-minute morning, 15-minute in the afternoon. I've never worked at a place where you got paid lunch.
well, lifeguards get paid
Because-
too,
Lifeguards
They
get paid
shouldn't.
too.
Neither
they
do I.
can't leave.
They
I
can't
would get
leave.
bonus if you get paid for
And
lunch.
Yeah.
They
well,
can't leave,
but there's
but they can-
also, they're also responsible for the campers at lunch.
Yeah.
So they can't just they can't walk out the door and go up to Subway.
And they're working.
They, yeah,
So it does no good to alternate them because they're getting paid anyway.
Right.
the ratio changes. So we can designate a certain number of people to be on
Hmm.
and in the cafeteria eating with the kids.
It's a group
Right.
setting.
Right, in a group setting that is, I'm trying to think of the word, can't remember what the health
No,
department
yeah,
called
yeah.
that.
It's the group
like,
ratio.
yeah, it's the less invasive,
So
Time.
the other half can be off.
correct?
Even if they don't leave, they still get like a.
They can just
15-minute
go in
break or
there.
whatever, which I don't care about the 15-minute break. They're
Well-
not getting paid overtime,
Right,
so
right.
then we're paying
So-
them overtime.
So that
Right,
other
I
half
understand.
can
Make
make,
all your heart grow.
well, that other half, but they still can't leave.
No, then they could leave.
No.
That's what-
That's what I'm saying, then they could leave.
So there's your not paying for lunch.
Right. For half, and so we'd work out a rotation
So
and win that.
Will be too small.
Right, so
Yes.
picture, 120 kids in a room
Right.
and.
It's
if
no,
we-
it's insanity.
It's insanity. When. As the kids finish eating. they go outside. To
Well,
be out of the room, so then a counselor has to go with that.
Again, right, we talked about
we
logistics
can do it
later.
the same
Yeah,
I
way.
get frustrated.
You brought it
But
up.
we have ideas to,
That's why I didn't wanna, I
Let's
didn't wanna
stick with
dive
budget.
into, I didn't wanna dive into the weeds.
we have ideas to mitigate that.
So we have a game plan for you.
Well, we have a budget.
We have a budget.
We have a budget.
We have a
And how it,
We
how
have a
these
game
fit
plan,
within
we
the
have a
budget.
budget. We have a budget plan,
All right,
All that matters right now.
yes.
what's next?
So then next would be,
Craigwood,
no, we already did Craigwood,
membership rates we did.
toboggan shoot, we did. So we have showgrounds.
Park garage,
Yeah, what the park?
park maintenance.
So,
And admin.
right, so park maintenance is actually now athletic fields, or at least that's what Kathy said she was gonna do, I don't know if she did before she left. That's what those line items were,
Okay.
park maintenance is athletic fields. So showgrounds, showed an increase, on consumable supplies. Slight one, building maintenance, I put 6,000 in, we have. The zero turns that we have there are the oldest ones. And there's more on upkeep to them. They're not used as much, so I don't feel the need to go out and buy a $15,000 one. But I think probably next summer we'll have to look for a replacement on the diesel one and one of the gators, but that, I think we can get through that this year. So, okay.
What line was that again? 17, 7110, 417, park maintenance equipment.
We're in showgrounds.
Yeah.
So we're on 1346.
Yeah, so yeah, I see what you're saying there.
Oh, actually, I mean,
1346, 415 was the line he was talking about.
Wait, he's looking at,
I'm
what one are we
I'm
looking
sorry,
at?
38.
Are we looking at the one you're looking at?
It's the same line in both.
and Amy, I put it, and this is my fault, I put it on the wrong one, I put that 6,000 in building repairs and maintenance. And
Yeah,
sorry,
that's it.
it should be in.
Yeah.
Equipment repairs and,
So it should be in 417.
Yes.
yes, my mistake.
Under 7110 parks.
What page are you on?
I'm on 38.
38, 3/4.
Page, we're on page 35,
Oh.
Department 1346, showgrounds.
Yep.
So he's talking about 1346. It got put in 415, it should be in 417,
Okay,
Yes.
okay?
yep,
And then, I think as pretty much everybody knows, we've got a lot of repairs and water infrastructure down there. And that's both in just regular repairs and couplings and things like that, with huge expenses this year. It's hard for me to say whether or not, my assumption is that it's because part of that is age of the system. So we're gonna have more, I mean, more regularly that, but if we do get the outer valve replaced in the next year or two. That's at the road, that's the pressure reducing valve, then maybe we won't have as many problems, but I don't.
we are regulated now,
We are,
yeah.
yes, but still, and I don't know how it's in the agreement, I mean, there's already an agreement for horse show. But every single time one of their vendors ruptures one of our lines, they should be paying for that, and they haven't, and it's not in the contract that way. But I don't know if we need to talk to Alan. about
Yes,
an addendum to that.
damage that is done during their lease, they are responsible for.
Okay,
Yeah,
Do we need to amend the agreement?
no,
and I-
it's written there because I know it very well, because as you remember, I initiated a payment to the electrician that fixed a stanchion that a tractor trailer mowed over that was delivering hay.
So that means you
And
go
then-
back and back
and-
bill them for some of that damage?
So should we go back?
I don't think it's worth going back at this point.
Just make sure going forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
So am I right that-
yeah, I wasn't aware, so.
That's the $6,500.
That's the 20,000
That's the
and 416.
Okay,
That's partly them hitting water lines,
yeah,
but then we just had elbows give way, we had the road that needed to be repaired.
and it's good anyway, because. If that 20,000 in there and it isn't used for those damages you're talking about, we're gonna have a brand new water line where we have to. Go from a lateral to put in a bathroom or whatever at
That's
the
true,
maintenance
too.
shop.
Yeah.
So that's a good move.
Okay.
So far.
So that's all I had at. At the showgrounds.
Are you anticipating any need for Trent with fertilizers or things to keep the grass sections of showgrounds in repair and in decent shape? I know it's not a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really only, I mean, everywhere else it grows like crazy.
Yeah.
I wish it grew that well in other places. The only place is really where we do all the car parking.
Right,
And the problem there is not so much fertilizer as it's just
Over
the
here.
ground is, well, it's just so compacted out
Right.
there. We're not gonna take the new deep tiner out there. I mean, we
Yeah.
bust it up in 2 seconds hitting stones.
yeah,
So I don't know. I feel like that outer part of the road recovers fine when it's not in use. It's
well,
just,
you see, there always was fertilizer put on those,
yeah.
on the fields. I'm just saying from the back of your mind, I figured we're a couple of
Such a-
years from,
Yeah, and it's such a small area too. I mean, gosh, it's like a couple of bags from
right,
athletic fields and it.
Did
Like,
you
I don't know.
notice, so year to date was
Okay.
Denver,
Yes.
so. Having trouble with the staffing, but. Them coming up with, if you take actual, it's 92,543.
Where are you, Rick? What page?
Gotcha.
35.
Yep.
So I divided by 9 and then multiplied times 12 to get to annualize it.
Somebody,
Yeah, wasn't Trent
So-
hired?
yeah.
Well, this is this
Yeah,
year.
Then, yeah, and well, you lost Zach. And we went half summer without one of the seasonal.
well,
we had the seasonal
I don't
come
wanna
in.
get into all of that, but it comes out to 123,000.
But these two people, Ward and Trent, were they there all this year?
Trent.
No, Trent was not.
That's your difference right there.
Well, the difference is, if I can finish, $123,000, 390 if you annualize year to date. The new budget is for $161,000. It's $40,000 increase, so is that all Trent?
I think it's.
I don't know when he started.
May.
In May, so probably that'd be a half a year of him.
Okay.
They're talking about from the actual.
Yeah.
72 to the 157.
Yeah.
Or
Thousand, yeah.
Like,
What,
that when you're like, the top of the showgrounds, the 72, that's the actual.
yeah, 72 plus 15 plus 5. Those three.
Because that's what I highlighted, because that was a.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no plans of adding personnel.
I can,
Not more than what we currently have.
But if anything, we lost personnel there, right? 'Cause we lost half of his back. Because Zach wasn't 100%, meaning his salary, or was Zach 100%?
he was still being paid while he was.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't know if Zach was one of the people that was divided. I think his time was
Oh.
divided.
No,
He was, none of his time was at Franklin, it was all showgrounds.
that's right.
Who else is all showgrounds besides Trent?
Scott, Ward,
Okay.
Waiter. Seasonal.
And I'd have to believe all that overtime is from what we went through line in the fields, that really won't be evident.
I mean, I don't see any overtime on my sheet, so I don't
Oh, I
know what
thought,
you're referencing. Zero. Oh,
So
no.
5,400.
yeah,
Today,
Yeah, I budgeted 13, so very well.
yeah.
so far.
Well, because overtime
He
came
was
into play
budgeted
with that,
13 and like.
when he did
expense
beaches
was
on
5.
weekends, it was all overtime.
Yeah.
So you don't.
Is where would, is professional services would have been Jim Gerard?
Yes,
Would he, or would he be grounds repair and maintenance?
oh,
Um. Question mark.
Yeah.
ground repair and maintenance, well, we always ran between 50 and 60 some thousand with Jim.
So in 2024, that was 57,000,
Yep,
but I don't see any big numbers last year. In the
Or was that
budget.
in athletics though? Was that in the other, was that in the field maintenance budget?
At least the showgrounds repair and maintenance one for 2024 April.
But there's a whole different budget that's under books.
Right,
cause
That is 94,000.
remember,
That's the one.
we had, Jim was owed like $14,000 or $17,000 for showgrounds.
so we really didn't pay Jim through showgrounds.
No,
To me, it would make sense he was
we
more
paid
in
him
the
out of
athletics
our
side.
district.
Right, showgrounds paid him for showgrounds, except.
He had a
we-
couple of years where he went between 70 and 80,000 dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause if you look at, cause this is where we'd be going next is the park maintenance grounds. That's the athletic fields, and you look at grounds repair and maintenance. Budgeted this year was 94,000 as a gym,
Right,
but we only spent
Page 38.
8,000.
7110. Well, then what's the 25? One below. The
don't know.
94,000 and then actual is 25,000.
because he didn't do anything this year. Jim, did he?
no, because in June,
I would
after
see
30 days
25,
of rain,
Emily.
he
Yeah,
left.
Alright, which number are you on?
So I'm on 416 grounds repair.
Yeah, I have 94, 854, and then actual is 8,013.52.
No, I have actual as 25,000, but maybe I'm not following the right line.
That's not what you're following.
that's correct.
What page are you on?
38,
38.
Yeah.
line 460.
Yeah.
Your thing, that must, I'm not sure when Kathy ran this.
So
So yours
this
is
is,
not.
so
as
part
updated.
of, if Jim was in grounds maintenance and repair, this is. The same argument I would have had before about other things, he should never have been under ground maintenance or repair, he should have been under professional service.
Well,
Yeah,
There's no way for me to track that.
no, however, don't forget that we spent a lot of money on the stormwater at the tent site. And there's stone, there's dry wells.
Right, but that wouldn't be under park maintenance and grounds, cause park maintenance grounds is the athletic fields.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I think
Put
that's your
25,000
interpretation, but is that like?
That.
Well, so.
Is that the, maybe
so
your
the-
interpretation, but not to be that.
So. So that 25, so I have 8, but if you see 25, that was since this was originally given to me by Kathy, so just in the past couple of months. We've bought fertilizer, we
Oh.
bought things that Jim would have done. That never did, that we still had to buy.
Okay. And just, can you see there too that you have for next year budget, you requested 42.5.
Right, and actually, and that's, and I need to update that to 56,118.
That's the other direction.
So,
You're wrong.
so the
So
reason.
Jared did mention something about 1 point.
So the reason why I 56,118 from the 42.5 is just in the past week that Trent has started to do work at the fields. They are so compacted that we think we have to do at least 2 top dressings next year, one in the fall and one in the spring to try to break it up. I mean, we've already gone through a set of tines in a field and a half. I mean, they're, can't even tell you how hard they are.
It's more like clay than,
Yeah. I wanna sell the athletic fields now, keep the golf course. Just keep focused over here, okay?
Yeah, I know, shiny things over here, shiny things over here. So. So as we switch over to the park maintenance and grounds, right, we have 60,250. So we need buildings out there. Place to store both the equipment that was just purchased, but then also chemicals and the like, so it would be the equipment itself that we just purchased, the 3 zero turns that we're using at the fields, and the gators.
Where's your location for the pole barn?
So the. Do you know, I don't know if the last time you were out at the far left-hand side. So if you're looking at the fields from the structures, far left, so past the pickleball court, there's an indent.
Yeah.
That goes along the tree line there, so it's
Okay.
already a cleared area. That's where I'm proposing to put it.
And that's where you're going to keep all your equipment. And then the Amish storage shed is for chemicals.
So initially it was. We really need 120 feet of storage by 24 by 120. And in trying to. Kind of piecemeal it together so that it would be actually a little more cost effective and could get them. We could break the structures up instead of doing one long pole barn. Which would cost another probably 10 to 15,000 to get a contractor to install it. Cause that would be outside of our ability to do that internally. Was to get the Amish storage barns, they come in 2 pieces and 2 sections that could be trucked in. And set on stuff.
So the 24 by 120 is your total need or just?
It's the
Includes the equipment too.
Right, that's right, that total square
They would include
footage,
any Amish plus a pole barn.
any which way you divide it up.
That's what I'm saying.
I need, 24
You
by
need
120
You
is
need
the
120.
undercover storage that we need.
Gotcha. Okay.
This Ken's looking at a pole barn as well, so. It's too bad we couldn't find a neutral location for them.
You need an enclosed, right, whereas Ken doesn't?
Yeah. It would need sides, I mean, it doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it could be.
a roof and slatted side.
Right,
Yeah.
slatted sides and stuff like that, right, just to keep snow from blowing on it, and keeping the elements out of it.
If it wasn't for the damn airport, we could make it happen.
So it's going there for the winter, right, I mean, that's where the plan right now is for
Right.
most of that equipment.
We have one hangar that doesn't have to be designated to FAA.
Okay.
Well, hopefully 2, right, so Michelin's gonna be in 1, and then
Right,
there's another
at
one.
least for this winter.
Yeah.
Michelin's flying in
Yeah.
their FAA.
So I increased the fuel costs because we have got bigger tractors, more mowing. Than what we've done in the past, that's a few $1,000s there, the adjustment that I already mentioned to 56,118 for 2 top dressings. And then equipment maintenance and repair, $3,000 again, with 3 zero turns that we have there. They're managing okay. Long term, I'd actually like to, when those 3 are out, I would like to switch to a fairway mower with wings. That would be more upfront cost, but it could be mowed more regularly. One person can do it in 3 hours instead of 2 to 3 people an entire day on 0 turns, so. Would be a lot more time maintenance by management from that. And still at 18,000 or increasing 18,000. Because I'm not sure where the Jim Gerard was in the other repaint and repair and maintenance line. So that was lining of the field that we use Jim for. We still need them for assistance for doing lining for other things. We have our little liner, which we can do for, you know, the little things that happen, the dry lakes and stuff like that, but when we get to the big tournaments. I mean, it takes 6 days to 3 to 4 people, 6 days to line the fields for PLF. And we just, with everything else we have going on. Says we can't do it. So we still need some professional services help there.
Okay, so just out of those last two sections that we've talked about. We are up 35,000 and 70,000, so over $100,000 between Park District admin and economic opportunity. My question to Amy would be. Have you identified anything where we have gained in our debt load? Is anything? Are we finishing up anything on our debt load that you know of? I thought this year was very good.
We're paid out our bonds.
Yeah,
No,
I thought the clubhouse was this year.
I think we still have a few years on this.
Okay,
Amy has a better answer than me.
Amy doesn't have an answer right this second, so
no, it's okay.
hang tight.
And it's already in here, but I just, in case anybody got questions, there was $2,000 for. Adjustments to the ringing bird system that's out there so
Yep.
that we could have better control in the system. So when we're watering things in, we can control by field. And it's also better because we can manage time on the machines better and we can do it remotely as well.
And that's really just a new panel?
It's so as it turns out, with these new modules, the panel we have should be okay.
Okay,
So. Trent's been on the phone with Rainbird. I mean, this is now a month and a half ago. But when they were working through all the problems that we had with that system and getting the new heads and things like that. The tech from Northern Irrigation, Jeff, that's here, thought it got hit by lightning, like it was showing an error code and stuff like that.
not so.
He doesn't, they don't think so now that Trent has spent more time on the phone with their tech support and stuff. He thinks that if they get the new modules, that will take care of the issue that they're having, but
Sorry to digress. Who's pumping down our water this year?
it's already done.
It is done.
It's shut off and it's already been blown out.
Who did it?
Trent, the guy said
Okay,
with the town.
so they borrowed the village's compressor?
Yep.
Good deal.
Already closed out.
Good.
No, we have two finishing up in 26.
In 22nd. That's actually.
Is one of them Craig with it?
Breakwood and Tawana.
Did you review our
Fresh air.
revenue for the athletic fields?
We haven't done any of them.
Don't breathe.
Yeah.
dude.
I was gonna say,
Because it's $3 million.
This, the sewer plant's just a corner, the wind's gonna change. So there's no
In
fresh
there
air.
somewhere.
No, but the 3 million we get back.
Uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be looking for $1 million, but
Amy, do you know where the revenue line is?
You are wondering.
For the athletic fields?
So go to page 34.
Okay, we're on.
We've got 78,000. Forecasted. I don't know why it doesn't like what they explained,
Yeah.
that's this
And
program.
that's an increase of approximately 35,000 over previous years. The only real money coming in there previously was PLL. And so now I'm projecting like around 35,000 between the new soccer tournament and Michelin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your plan to put revenue in?
I would love to do that, the system does not do
No,
that,
okay.
but yes, that would be lovely.
We're-
Okay, we can set the bottom line.
Would be my project to
Little
revamp
line.
this whole entire budget.
Yeah.
270531 gifts and donation youth program. You already have that as a line.
Oh, yeah.
The, which one, the 21-24 line?
No,
No.
uh, 2705 0031.
Yeah.
So someone at some point has donated money to youth program before,
Yes.
in
Yeah,
23 and then
that's what somebody
24.
did before, right?
No.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
someone
they
did,
did.
someone donated $500 and then someone donated $1,200.
yeah, I was referring to an old line item for horse check.
Oh, yeah, but somebody
It's
did.
an
see it.
exhibit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did. And actually was one, we don't was four, but unrestricted too, in 23.
It's just interesting how that's out there.
So Rick, if I could go back to your other question on the pole barn and stuff like that too. I mean, there's also, it's a potential, so it's not realized, but if we did the small Amish building to start. That would give us some storage space there, so we can get maybe not all of the equipment, but an appreciable amount of it stored on the venue. If things go well with Michelin and they do look for a multi-year deal after that. Remember, they do have money in their budget that they could then go towards. Pension, that would be a bigger structure, it needs. Needs more than what a pole barn would be, but just a thought that there potentially down the road, there could be some assistance there for. For a bigger and better structure.
I was just looking, Ken needs this, you need this, why not combine the two?
Shares.
With this. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be an airport hangar. I mean, because it would be twice as big than what.
do you think Ken's site is right across from beautification?
Yeah, that's where it is.
In that storage lot where the
Yeah.
culverts and stuff. are?
Yeah.
That's what we did, somebody said he wanted.
Yeah.
And then my last addition here is $1,500, and that's a new line item that didn't exist, so I'm not sure what we call it. This with Derek, we talked about this. Is for cost for training, team meetings, gathering, stuff like that. I don't know how we,
Kind of like employee appreciation type.
Well,
line.
yes, but I think we need to then be able to couple it with some additional things to actually call it that.
Right,
So we have to have.
Is it, were you thinking, I don't know how much this was, but for the professional development sort of situation?
That's, I appreciate that, but I think that's maybe a step too far.
However, you may include some professional development and do that, I think.
You know what I mean? Like, I just,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
Right.
You're reaching with
I don't
that
know
far.
how to word it, but
Right,
you know,
that's-
I agree, so that there's always a way to.
Right.
Do something once a year or whatever. Taxpayers would, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean,
There's,
yeah. I understand that, but it's,
Yeah.
we're not talking like,
How much is it?
like,
It's not like
We're not-
3,000.
yeah, we're not talking, hoopla. I mean, we're talking about the people that are maintaining the taxpayers' things, so they look nice.
The only thing I would say is that like, I don't know if it exists in Park District or like it should exist somewhere else because it's all employees.
Right,
And not
sure.
just Park District.
Yeah,
employees.
because
So
we invited town garage folks and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, and so maybe it's like an end of a summer, or thanks for an excellent summer appreciation, and then there's like a holiday appreciation or something.
Yeah.
Those two things, I don't know.
Yeah, totally open to that too, and it doesn't have to be this particular, I just wanted that to be.
I had a
reflected
note somewhere that I wrote that down, but I also agree that sometimes in the public realm, that's not what people think their tax dollars should be spent on, so. It's a.
We have some ideas looking at when we get to brainstorm that, things that we did for. A massive department to do.
With taxpayers' dollars.
No,
lobbyists.
no, they were sponsored by some of our larger
You have to.
contractors and larger vendors that we used.
Yeah.
Together to do that.
An appreciation, yeah.
Does the county ever do anything?
You know, people that would pay.
I don't remember there being.
No, I know, when I used to look,
Tens
yeah,
of
work for
thousands
it,
of dollars.
that's who paid for
was the large ones
Yes.
that would turn around and do that.
It was a golf tournament and every major vendor would sponsor a hole. So.
The squeaky chair.
It's very soothing, isn't it?
You know, I was squeaking it on purpose, right?
Yeah, I know, you're going like this, I know.
So we get enough brain to burn.
You're all in arms of reach, so
Just calms the
Fine.
noise.
lightly.
We can have what's pizza.
How'd we do, Jeremy?
You
got
thought I was
anything else?
going with that.
That's
Yeah.
all the.
So let's draw a bottom line. In comparison, which I know it's not easy apples to apples, but. Overall, that we've discussed so far. What is the increase?
You're not done, are you? What is park garage?
Yeah,
That's the
park
only one.
Our garage is John Bolsford. He's our mechanic. He's in his own separate
Oh, okay.
budget.
Now.
Well, he gets all the youth revenue, so that's good. That comes out of 16,000,
I don't know where that is.
bottom line, I like that.
Now I have to think
Yeah,
back,
that's right. This is good. Thank you.
but listen about Park Garage. And I'll have to look at the numbers, but I believe there are people that are year-round employees. That some of their salary is charged to Park Garage.
John's.
I don't think just John, I think,
I wouldn't know that if there's some. Does some of Matt's come out of that?
He's got 62,000.
Is that necessary to do that, or is it just seems convenient?
I think Kathy split it because of. I don't know if it was toboggan. It might have to be a question to us.
Because there's no equipment, there's no repairs, that's what he's doing.
He's the
Right,
only
because
thing,
it's broken out by each of the
Yeah, so.
people's equipment's in different places, so
He's
there's
the only
only.
person being charged to it right now.
Okay,
He makes pretty good,
It's actually pretty low.
62,000.
No,
I hope not.
no, 50.
No,
50,
well,
50,000.
you're looking at the overtime.
52
Yes,
plus
then.
$10,000 overtime, yeah.
Right, but I don't think he hasn't gotten that.
I mean, there's only $1,000 in
For 2026,
overtime there
John
now.
is 50,752.
We're live.
The mechanic is 50,750. So in that case,
So yeah, you could pull some budget from overtime again, that's a guess.
we could actually
So,
pull, you can pull
part of-
some from it, if it's just him, do that, that's $2,000 over.
So. And what I also don't know. Is. If, say. He pulls overtime. At Toboggan, he pulls overtime at Craigwood, he pulls overtime at. Because that's what equipment he's working on or where. I don't know how that's differentiated within the budgets, probably not, it's probably all, I'm assuming all of his overtime goes here.
Most likely unless it's
Versus-
notated on his timesheet as something else.
Yeah. Because nobody says it's overtime in which venue
Yeah,
or
they put
what,
OT.
yeah, they just put OT.
Yeah.
And so that's also. Hard to track and acknowledge when Derek asks questions of me about overtime, say in Brentwood. Well, it's always gonna be lower than it is because part of John's overtime is going to this line. Not Brentwood's line, you know what I'm saying, like,
Right.
it's, you don't know who's paying who.
I mean, we can add lines to the
Budget.
timesheets that differentiates which. Where they put their time.
Yeah, I mean, if they pull overtime at Toboggan, it's still going to overtime at Craigwood.
That's where they're based.
I mean, if you wanna have them change their, like, change their timesheets to break that out.
All that is putting a note on the side.
Yeah.
Where they worked that day.
Asking a lot.
It
I
is,
was gonna say.
yeah, because there are 6 hours here
The whole 40
and 2 hours there, and what is the part that pulls the overtime? versus
Cause all they
another?
care about is our shit.
Right, did you put that in your budget?
That's a tougher
I
one.
don't have a
Yeah,
price for it.
Because that's the thing, some may do it, others won't. And, here it is.
So if we wanted to just talk about. My wish for a little bit better equalization among. Our workers between Showgrounds and Craigwood.
Mhm.
We really are as close as we've ever been right now. So that it is attainable. If you go to the salary sheet,
Section.
6, I think.
Yes.
We need to. Turn that
Yeah.
off.
Same name, yeah, good one.
And talk about people that next to-
Well, I won't give names, I'll just give figures. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to 48. And we'll go to the 2026 requested line.
The green, right?
Yep. So you go to 48 and you go to. 55. So you have $1 difference between those two. And then you also go to line 53. And you see that that's just a hair lower. Then you go, and that's really enough of a comparison there between Craigwood and Showgrounds. The ability for us to equalize that out is within $1 to $1.25.
So you're looking at equalizing,
All to the upper.
53 with 44, or,
Yeah, the highest one was 48, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Because. We would be looking at a line 52 that doesn't apply. Because of a different qualification.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
because, yeah, I would agree there too, because having just redone all their job descriptions, 52 does have.
Different skills.
Different skills, yeah, so they're actually covering what would be 2 different skill sets of 2 other
Yeah.
employees.
But you see, if you take the lower tier and adjust them, it's almost, it means. It means 52. Actually should be adjusted as well.
It seems like they would have to correlate.
Well, right, I mean,
And then
52 would
this
have to, so if the others were to go up incrementally, then I think
Right.
that he would. In
Same
order
ratio.
for 52 would have to go up an incremental amount to maintain a difference.
It's the closest I've ever seen us be. Between the two. Areas of employment.
What do you mean between 2 areas, 2 different locations?
Yes, 2 locations with
And
basically
Showgrounds.
identical jobs. Landscaping. It,
Mowing, weed whacking,
Yeah.
all that.
So you're saying that we're usually farther apart?
yes,
What were the reasons we were usually farther apart?
because we hadn't adjusted. Showgrounds. In quite some time.
To me, because. Golf course is seasonal. They should be lower than park district.
And these, and both are year-round jobs, that's.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
That's why with what Jeremy's going through.
Well, if you
job
want, you
description
want them
changes,
together.
we can
You want
use them.
both of them together because the skill set.
And
Right.
and I believe the intent is to use them. Unilaterally, wherever we need them.
Yeah.
Which is the basis for my wanting to be some kind of equalization.
I mean, basically where they are now is
Yeah.
equal.
If you're looking at years of service as well.
that's one thing we're not looking, right, we're not
Yeah.
looking at that.
Right,
So in other words. What's the numbers? Which one are we gonna?
well, I think
In other
we go to
words-
48,
48 should be higher.
and listen. I can live with that, I'm just looking for.
Yeah.
That base value that. Makes it as fair as it can be.
Well, I mean, to me. Depending when the years of service matter,
Yeah,
because, you know, I mean, when you start, I mean, last few years, we've kind of adjusted things where maybe we shouldn't have adjusted. I'm just saying hypothetically, we shouldn't have adjusted so much. And therefore now it's carrying over.
and there are different degrees of responsibility.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But the skill set's basically the same.
Right.
The skill set's the same. So therefore with 48. I mean, that to me is maybe potential an adjustment. For years.
Talking in code.
Yeah, yes, you're talking in code.
Mine will be substantially easier. I'm all for, to entertain the idea of this, however, where is the money gonna come from? Where are we gonna like tighten the pencil on other areas?
We won't know that till our last session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's-
this is where the end.
We should have something merit based.
And that's why, yes, I like the merit based, and I talk about professional development component of it, give them the chance to.
Did my heart just grow bigger?
I don't think it can.
No, it just shows you.
It's just be coming out of cardiac.
I think 8-year-old way.
So for 53, I'd like to see how 53, 46, respond to the new job description.
53 and what?
Nothing, I was just.
Oh,
I
I
was
was
playing football for a while. When 53 was true, I mean,
Yeah.
let's see the
Right,
response
I
to that.
agree.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just that I think if we're gonna look at this, I think it's pretty the equalization is there, other than time.
Right,
So 48 could be adjusted.
yeah,
Other than that, it's equal.
agreed.
Were you, what, well, you obviously brought that up because someone brought something to
There
you.
was, yes, there was a meeting with.
48.
Aaron. No,
34.
right, from now on.
Remember.
36, we had a meeting with. We had a meeting with several members of my staff. Who felt that based on their knowledge of what people were making significantly. I use the word significantly because that's how I think it was said in the meeting, less than some of their colleagues.
And it's not true.
Well, that's the thing, it could be if they're taking, I'm just saying, if they're taking into consideration. Time. You know.
Senior.
Oh, yeah, maybe using the one more time. Someone who had more
In other
time.
words, let's talk in code. In other words, if 48 was the one that said, hey,
Yeah.
I should be making more money because of
Right.
time.
I'm okay
So-
with that statement.
Yeah,
So the
Let him.
As long as the anchors gets hauled in.
So the person that was most concerned about that was 55.
Oh, gosh, I lost the page.
okay.
55 more. New.
Ooh,
Newer.
yeah, that's a newer person.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you compare, I'm just saying,
By the way,
55,
anyone could just look this up and figure out what.
I know.
if you compare 55 to 53, they should be pretty close, and they are,
55 and plant found on, so
right?
Who were they?
it's very new.
But they did that.
Yeah, if 55 and 53 are very close in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
So-
close and solid.
8
They're there.
cents.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
So when 55 says, I should be making more money. What's your basis?
Was someone getting more OT hours than others?
I mean, they weren't looking at it that way.
No,
No, that's not, no, they're looking at their hourly.
over the water cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Derek, because you were in that meeting too. I mean, I think there was concern of equalization, but I think they were also concerned about what I'll term of like a living wage.
Right,
And somebody that's making $24 an hour that lives in this area doesn't live in this area. They live somewhere else. Because they can't afford to get any closer.
Well, no, I understand.
I mean, the county did that years ago, they bumped everybody up like $2 a week. to
And we've
adjust.
done that in the past, and it just really hasn't worked out real well. To throw money at it. I mean. I don't know.
We don't have to address it again until our last session to know where we're at.
Yeah, I think
I just wanted it put in front of you.
Yeah, and in the future. We can do it on merit based because of evaluation, employee evaluations. If
Because I thought we were gonna start.
person one is doing, you know, if they're with the same skill set. And person one, person A is doing a fantastic job. And person B is just doing, getting through doing their job. Boom, merit.
Did we talk about having? Like
Yeah.
annual, are we gonna implement that hopefully in 2026? Is that
Yes.
the goal?
That's,
I mean, but you were looking this way, I don't know anything about that.
We're looking your way.
I've never had a discussion
So
about.
maybe
it.
some general chatter about.
We had it before, that's having a tier system,
Yeah.
just because it's okay, now we're rehiring for Charlie Brown. Snoopy comes along. Wow, Snoopy wants $28 an hour. Okay, we like Snoopy, so he gets $28 an hour. Now you got the rest of your people.
Yeah.
That's right.
and people talk, so.
Well, you know, I mean, generally, the consensus is now, don't tell anybody else what you're making. Yeah, right.
It's up pretty much all public.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
All right,
it's the village.
but to your point there,
oh.
This Mark was just
to
walking.
your point, to circle it around. We are very close,
Yeah,
and like I said, just to me, one factor on one person, that's it.
I understand where you're going and I support it, it's one of those, in my mind, it's like, we're still chipping away. And I would like to be able to, and especially with the other sort of department heads and that sort of lines, like entertain that will. Kind of be where we can carve out.
I mean, think about everything around us. Stewards, $23 to $25 an hour, okay?
No bennies,
What's that?
no bennies.
Right. We've come a long way in 2 years. And I know it's costing us big time to do it,
Everything's just skyrocketed.
but now we are more self-sustaining at a cost, I agree. But now we aren't shipping out basically $70,000 to $80,000 to a contract to take care of our fields. We have a professional person on board. Yes, we're gonna bond for all that equipment. But we've raised the level of what the town of North Elba can do considerably.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, retaining workers is gonna be a struggle forever, I'm sure. But I still go back to that term livable wage.
It is, I understand, but if you compare Stewart's, McDonald's, anybody in the area. The vast majority of the people they're hiring, no benefits, maybe even full-time, no benefits, and. For every person they hire full-time, they hire 5 more. 20 hours,
Yeah,
so it's not.
and I don't wanna be in a comparable situation.
We have a meeting, Mark,
You do.
at
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be out soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those balances between. Do you want to sit on a 1995 mower? Or do you want $1 more an hour?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
and you
And
know,
most people are gonna take the $1 more an hour.
Exactly.
Oh, that's it.
If given the option.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not their concern, that's
The
my
other,
concern.
but the other thing is if, you know, listening to you with a mower. And then we put in automated irrigation, maybe we can cut a worker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Eventually, through attrition.
Right, yeah.
and historically, I'm not saying we have to go by the past.
Rick's heart just grew.
No, you said cut a worker, like, we're all gonna have some.
But you threw it through
It is just like that, I don't wanna hear that
But
nonsense.
historically, I mean, with municipalities, you don't make as much money. You make it on benefits. And such, I mean, the current benefits and the future benefits. Unfortunately, John Doe doesn't look at it that way, and why am I not making $2 more an hour?
Right.
I get what Jerry's saying, though. When you invest in people, they wanna stay, and there's like, we waste less time having conversations, trying to find people to replace them, train them and get them going.
Yeah, I
know-
think the
know-
conversation to be had at the end of budget to see if we could have some more money. to
Yeah.
help.
And that is, that's a slippery slope of our, it just says, because the person who is generally healthy otherwise isn't looking at the money that's being spent on their benefits, and they don't have the long-term perspective for retirement, they're more concerned about being able to put on the table.
Oh, I know.
or
I
rent.
know.
So,
Do we,
So there's
I think
immediacy
one
to
last
it.
question, and I think we asked this before. At the end of the year, we give out paperwork, W2s, et cetera. Do they get a figure of what their total compensation is?
No, you don't.
We don't.
We don't do that?
We talked about that.
That's what I thought. I didn't know. if we-
Their W-2 will reflect the amount on their insurance, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
But-
And-
but
and-
you
and
have
we don't
to-
get it.
To understand how to look at a W-2.
Yeah, total.
Yeah, all the information is there.
Total compensation, what we're paying for them as employees.
Sure.
But the information is there, but no,
Most people
98% of them don't.
Because I used to get it where
Yeah.
mine wasn't on my W2. It was just a separate sheet. You know, we were emailed it saying, okay, here's your wages, here's what you got overtime if you got any. And here's what we spend on you that you didn't
And
have.
they label that email, this is why you should be grateful.
Again, I don't
But
think anybody's gonna care.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe some will.
Oh,
so I'll have.
not one.
Not a one.
That
I had a
one looks
recent,
like it really-
I had one recent employer do that.
Yeah.
Where I had not seen that on any of the others, and my immediate response to that was, yeah, but I don't see that matter. That's not